Hey guys, what is going on? Dust 2 in the AWP, probably one of the most iconic duos in Counter-Strike history, so I thought, who better to look at how to play this role than Guardian, the AWPer for FaZe Clan, talk about some of the battles he likes to take, the angles he obviously likes to hold, and then just talk about how he plays with the rest of his team, just in general. Now to start off with, we'll notice peeking middle is something I'm actually going to disappoint you guys on. Is the fact that he doesn't actually peek middle and challenge opposing AWPers. You've seen players try and flash over here, peek in middle, think they're going to win the fight. Guardian does none of this. He doesn't want to fight any of the AWPers. He knows he's at a disadvantage on this battle. And he often just holds this angle here, which is a strong one if you don't trust to go fast mid to B, which we've seen become a little bit prevalent recently. Teams just running down middle, going for an aggressive play like that. He's going to catch him off guard, such as in that clip you just saw there. And then he's obviously very good at adjusting in this middle area. A lot of pressure coming out to long. Again, another common thing to come out from the T side. Notice how he straight away repositions onto this angle here, where he can watch short anyone jumping up on that box, obviously the X box, to try and get up short. It just allows him to support his teammates. That's another reason he uses his smoke nice and early here, just to allow him to keep holding this angle, allows players such as Nico to get this first pick, before Guardian deciding, okay fellas, I'm going to start rotating in a second, which of course means Nico has to be a little bit worried about short just for the meantime, a little bit overcautious perhaps, but he's going to rotate over here. And that's really it for this clip. No kill for you guys. I'm just going to show you he doesn't peek middle like that. He plays that smart angle, he can get a pick sometimes at a relatively low risk level. Those of you that do love to peek middle as a CT, it's not all bad news. If you know that teams on an eco such as this one where big had just been reset, it's very smart to peek middle actually. You get a lot of information as to what's going on. And as you can see in this pick scenario, he's going to get the nice opening pick onto tabseN. Also notice right now that mid is being smoked differently by FaZe in this scenario. They actually smoke close middle in this one, which allows Guardian to peek over the top of it, allows him to have this extra presence we saw last round, where he was able to hold short for a little bit longer. Rather than that further back smoke, allows the player to cross still, chromaster to cross a little bit closer to the smoke to deny any information against those AWPers, but this can be something FaZe like to vary. Just throw in there as a variant, and then also obviously Guardian straight away in this one, moving towards B, for setting up for a potential split towards either of the sites. You can see a lot of the FaZe concentration right now is towards this middle short area because of the information Guardian was able to grab. So peeking middle and when you think it's a force buy, not a bad move at all. Notice right now as well, they're very good at mixing it up. You can see again this Stewie clip, they actually bounce the smoke further back. Actually the only time out of all the matches I watched where Guardian actually peeked in front of this smoke, so he likes to keep it a little bit unpredictable, so you can't be fully sure as to what that smoke tells you about where Guardian's playing, but he just takes Stewie's head off. These are all little options. Notice as well in this one, only a scout in play, so it is another force buy when he's deciding to peek middle against MIBR in this scenario. So what about after we get past that initial mid-pick stage when the Guardian's finished playing around the middle area? Well, he often comes over here towards the B site, often a two-man setup from FaZe Clan, Nico taking one AWP over towards A, and Guardian the other towards B. Obviously, Guardian does usually get the preference, but not always actually on this map when they can only afford one AWP. So he's going to move around a little bit. We're going to see a whole pile of different angles he likes to play, but he often starts towards window until he's either flashed off or he feels a bit of presence coming in, and then he'll move towards the door as soon as he thinks it's possible. So this is going to be a great scenario right now. We're going to see Rain, his supportive player, is actually going to get picked off. So Guardian's going to be left in quite a sticky situation. So as soon as Rain goes down, Guardian knows he's available or open to two different areas. So he's going to stay here for the first picking, feel a lot of pressure coming towards middle. He doesn't want to miss this kill. He's going to risk the timing. Obviously, this is a judgment call on his behalf. Works out quite well. He's going to find the first pick onto JW before straight away moving to door. And there's a couple of reasons behind this. One, you just saw it there, is he can move towards this box and pressure middle quite easily. And the B players coming out B on this B split have to swing very wide to take him out. So you think about this map in general. If they want to peek door out like this, Crims is going to have to peek very wide, all the way almost to big box to kill him, rather than if he's window, Crims could probably see him right now. Same with mid actually, it's an easier pick onto window, you can see that first before anyone out here towards box. You can see Guardian straight away commits out here where he has cover. You think about the other side of the site, he can't defend both ways as easily. The only cover where he can actually peek back and forth are these boxes right ahead of him, which is on the right side of his scope. So that's the reason he often moves out towards this door area. As well, you can actually often avoid a few more flashes if you want to play quite a tight angle. And he's just going to play this. Once he realizes there's no one out middle, he sees no one in that scenario, he's going to keep checking before just repositioning out here to just defend from outside doors. And you see, because he played this door position, allows him so many more options to move before eventually Fnatic do the right thing and double peek him. Obviously, the AWP can't shoot quick enough. And you're going to see it doesn't matter if there's three players over here, such as in this scenario where you got Rain, chromaN, and Guardian, or just the single as before. He's going to push out here, play this door angle where he can avoid a lot of that utility, and always push out the door if he thinks there's any extra pressure there. So you can see it's actually going to fall straight out and trade Rain, rather than turning around and trying to fight those players coming into the site. And there's, again, a couple of reasons behind this. One, if he pushes out door, he can just regroup the rest of his team. This is a great example here. Instead of turning back and potentially fighting the players in the site, he turns this into a 3v2. Even if they want to play after plant in this scenario, he would wait for his teammates to all group up. You can see they're all close by on the map. He's able to swing in here. Hits the first shot, missed a couple of deagle shots, but you can see how falling out the door is quite beneficial to regroup with your rotating teammates and not overextend and potentially give up that extra pick and just waste extra time as well. That's one of the big things about being an anchor or one of these last players on the site. It's just wasting time for your teammates to rotate in is such a big part of playing these roles, as well as obviously the fact that there is more cover outside that door in those boxes we showed before. Another big thing about Dust 2 is obviously the long spawn. Guardian's going to utilize it on both the T and the CT side. Normally it is Nico, as I referenced before, but you can see this buy is a little bit different from FaZe, so I thought take the opportunity to show you an example anyway. Basically, you can beat any of the Ts coming out, even if they have the best spawn, and just catch a player off guard, such as Sunny in this scenario. We're going to see Guardian fall back and play another strong angle on the A side. Again, not normally the positions he likes to play, but he's going to take the opportunity to take quite a strong one in here. It is a little bit of a risky one, but you can see with his teammate moving up short to cover that area of the map in range, he's able to take this angle quite confidently. He can use the box to try and cover some of the lower flashes. Perhaps he still gets flashed off in this one. Not the greatest position, but you can spot all along a very tight angle, so it's unlikely you're going to get picked off yourself. And you see he's going to find the player originally peeking in here. They're going to throw their own utility, catch him off guard, but it's still a strong angle. You can see a very thin one, very hard for any of the rifles to actually counter that. Does a great job of almost single-handedly shutting down this round for FaZe when they really had no business unless it was up to him to win this one. Chris J's going to try and clutch it out, but you can see just a couple of angles you can play out here towards long. A quite aggressive one when you do have short control for your teammates at the boxes can be quite strong. There's long picks, very powerful on both the CT and the T side, as we're about to see. And here it is, long spawn. Again, I want to reiterate the fact that if the CTs have that perfect spawn we saw Guardian have, they will actually beat you to this angle even if you get a really good spawn on the T side. But you can see it's very effective catching those players trying to go for some kind of long control. And of course, it is a little bit of RNG as to what spawns the CT get, but it can be quite effective. Whether you get the long spawn or not, what does Guardian do once his team gets out long, they've controlled this area, and he himself is also out there not looking over middle or something? Well, it's very easy to play a supportive role, almost just covering the rest of your team as they approach or try to fight other parts of the map. I'm going to see a great example of this right now, obviously in overtime versus Big. So Nexus at the car position, which is going to be found out quite quickly by the FaZe Clan side. What's going to happen is Guardian's not actually going to even look towards car. His job right now is to try and punish anyone trying to support this player at car and Nex, because well, he's got three teammates obviously fighting. Next manages to pick off Croman, but he's not worried about them. People try and flash through the smoke, flash for support, as you just saw. And Guardian's entire job, as I already said, is to punish that. You see, that's eventually what's going to happen. They actually manage to bait out the player in Tabzon on the site by smoking this cross. As this smoke comes in, Tabzon's going to want to cross and try and help out next to the cars here. All the utility coming in, they're like, okay, the push is starting to come in, I'm going to help out. And Tabzon and Guardian says, no, you're not. I'm here to punish this. I'm that supportive player, walking out with the rest of my teammate. Never normally first. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule, which I will talk about in a section, but these are a little bit more rare. And he just puts himself in a great spot, trying to pick off anyone rotating in, even swapping the AK-47. So again, a very simple concept to understand. Nothing flashy or like overcomplicated he's doing, but he's playing a great job of protecting his teammates and eventually winning this round, punishing Tabzon, trying to peek out onto the rest of his teammates. One other thing to note about Guardian is he rarely actually tries to spam this door angle. He's always very cautious of anyone trying to peek onto him on the CT side. Also notice, remember that angle we saw him holding at the beginning of the round? We actually walked straight into it here. Smooya should have had a kill holding the exact same angle. They both actually end up missing these shots, so actually Guardian connects on that one. But you see how that angle is quite efficient, one we were talking about earlier in the video. Now when you do hit the A side again, we're going to see another example of Guardian being a very supportive player, similar to that long hit we saw. And I have so many clips of this, I could just probably make like a 50-minute video almost, just showing all these clips from the games I watch. I'm just going to pick a second one here just to reiterate what I talked about, where basically, as his team decides to walk up here onto the A site, they're just going to rely on him to hold these boxes, cover them off by they can concentrate on the edge of the map. So you can see, even when this smoke comes in for him to peek out, he's just going to be walking out here, training on the angles on these boxes, seeing if anyone's going to peek that very common head glitch angle. Once he sees no one, going to start trading players such as Gobson. Tabzon, he's trading here as well. So even if you're not protecting your teammates like we saw here, attempted to do if anyone did peek that headshot line, you're straight away there, prepared to swing out and get those trades on your teammates where if you're a solid AWPer and you're picking up this weapon, you should be capable to do that. Neither of those kills Guardian got were particularly hard to get. Full-bodied plays, you can see them from head to toe. So it's a great example of, again, A site, B site, long, same concept everywhere. As I said, so many clips I could show you, but for the sake of the length of the video, I'm going to cut it there with the supportive element plays. And obviously, if Guardian's not being that supportive AWPer holding angles for his teammates, he's often looking for an opening, a CT player to overextend, such as this example right here. It is against all deagles and pistols. The point still stands. It was just a good excuse to throw another clip over on the B site here. He's getting a little bit sick of the A site, but notice right now how quick and close Karrigan is when he hits his first site. Watch Karrigan just accelerate straight past Guardian once he takes his first shot, ready to trade or apply any pressure as soon as Guardian takes this contact. So straight away Karrigan's out here clearing angles, fighting different positions, and the whole team, or 3 players, are ready to take the B site. And Guardian does a great job here, just taking the whole site in general. Also notice that in this clip here, he will do the exact same thing pretty much up short, but he accelerates, and again, after he gets close to these positions where he could potentially get killed, he has a player very close by. So I might have started this one a little bit early, but notice as he picks up the box, he's going to find the first player again, overextending, getting a little bit lucky with the time he turns onto Jaken. But notice he starts to slow walk up here, looking for this player. But look how close Rain is again to trade and accelerate onto this A site. Also notice that you don't need fancy flashes. Players tell you need certain pop flashes or different channels. Just throw a flash like that, a great one, throw onto the ramp. Could cover anyone potentially down long. They killed 2 players on short. Could be one more locking down long. So Guardian just throws those flashes, stopping that player from rotating up quickly. Nothing fancy. And that's honestly just good CS. Taking the timing is often much more important than lining up your perfect pop flash, which is just me ranting now because I get triggered sometimes. But that is it, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me how you like to AWP Dust 2, any tricks you might have up your sleeve. And of course, I'll catch you all in the next video.